Today, we're diving into a really charming story about love, courage, and, the total absurdity that happens when an ancient immortal swordmaster literally falls out of the sky and crashes into modern life. So, our story kicks off with a question that, let's be honest, probably feels a little too real for a lot of us. This is our protagonist, Lin Xiaonuan. She's a completely burnt-out office worker in Taipei, and she's just trapped in that endless cycle of meetings, deadlines, and sad little convenience store dinners. But her monotonous, soul-crushing routine is about to get completely shattered when, and I mean this quite literally, a man just falls out of the sky and lands right on the pavement in front of her. Now, this wasn't some kind of movie stunt or an elaborate prank. This was a celestial being, decked out in ancient robes, who had just had a rather embarrassing and very sudden drop from the heavens. So you have to be asking, what could possibly make an all-powerful, immortal swordmaster just fall? Was he in some epic battle? A celestial disturbance, maybe? Nope. Turns out the immortal being who can literally ride a sword through the clouds has a crippling, paralyzing fear of heights. He looked down, he panicked, and his sword flying power just kind of fizzled out. And just like that, our stage is set. What we've got here is a classic case of opposites attracting under the absolute weirdest circumstances you can imagine. We have the emotionally exhausted mortal and the quite literally acrophobic immortal. So as Shen Zhuxing finds himself stranded in her world, his biggest challenge isn't, fighting demons or finding a portal home. It's just trying to navigate the completely bizarre and alien landscape of modern Taipei. Get this. His very first taste of our world's magic is a simple cup of hot cocoa from a convenience store. He treats it like it's some sacred artifact, and this warm, sugary drink completely revitalizes him. He even describes it with all the poetic flair you'd expect from an ancient master. And he tries to understand our technology through the only lens he has, which is the world of spiritual energy. So to him, Wi-Fi isn't just the internet. No, it's a vast, powerful, and invisible spiritual network that connects everything. Oh, and the discoveries do not stop there. When he tries salty fried chicken for the first time, the guy has a full-on spiritual awakening. He reacts with actual tears of profound, joyful emotion, almost like he's just hit a new level of enlightenment. But, in the middle of all these amazing new things, his deepest anxiety is always there. When he finds out she lives on the 8th floor, he sees her little apartment not as a home, but as this terrifyingly high fortress way up in the sky. Okay, but this is where the story starts to shift. It goes from being just a pure comedy to something much, much deeper, because they have to confront his fear head on. Right, so this isn't just a funny little quirk anymore. They come to a simple pedestrian bridge, maybe 1 story high, and he just freezes. To him, it's not a walkway, it's a huge, terrifying chasm. The fear is absolutely real, and it's paralyzing. Her reaction in this moment is what's so powerful. Instead of making fun of him or getting frustrated, she just offers her support. And in this small, simple act of kindness, holding his hand as they cross, they totally redefine what courage even means. It's not about being fearless, right? It's about being brave enough to take that next step, even when you need someone's hand to help you do it. And from that moment on, their relationship doesn't really grow through these big, dramatic declarations. It just blossoms in all the small, quiet, everyday acts of care and just being there for each other. And this is how Shen Zhuxing, the powerful immortal swordmaster, learns to show his true strength. It's not with a sword, but through this quiet, steady companionship. He doesn't solve her problems for her. He just makes her exhausting life feel a little bit softer, a little bit warmer. And this really gets to the heart of their entire connection. In one of the most powerful moments in the story, after a horrible day at work leaves her feeling totally useless, he doesn't offer advice or solutions. He just gives her the one thing she actually needs: permission to rest and the simple, profound promise of his presence. But of course, this can't last forever. You knew it was coming. Eventually, it's time for him to leave. The celestial gate that first brought him to her world starts to stir, which means his path back home is about to reopen.
so he's finally built up enough of his courage value to face the flight home. But just as he's ready to go, he reveals this brand new fear, one that has become so much bigger and more terrifying than his fear of heights ever was. Their farewell is just heartbreakingly bittersweet. He steps through the gate, taking with him all the courage she helped him find, and he leaves behind this small token, a promise of a memory, not really of a future. The word carved on it, Zai, means to be present, which is just the perfect symbol of what he gave her. But the story doesn't just end with a quiet, sad goodbye. Life goes back to its familiar, exhausting rhythm for Lin Xiaonuan. A long time passes. And then, one day, the impossible happens. He's back, hovering super unsteadily on his sword right outside her 8th floor balcony, looking just as terrified as he ever did. And he tells her he spent all his time back home just practicing, not to become a stronger warrior, but to become brave enough to conquer his fear and fly all the way back to her. His greatest fear wasn't falling anymore, it was never seeing her again. And this just perfectly sums up the story's beautiful central message. Courage isn't just one thing. It comes in so many different forms. His was this epic, grand bravery of facing a paralyzing phobia for love. But hers was the quiet, daily courage of facing her own burnout and still choosing to be kind, to reach out her hand to a stranger. So in the end, what this simple story is really suggesting is something pretty profound. Maybe the greatest acts of bravery aren't about slaying dragons or conquering worlds. Maybe true courage is just about facing what scares you most, whether that's the sky above you or just another Monday morning, all for the sake of choosing to show up for the people who matter.